Hey everyone, welcome back to my Go programming series. So what we are going to learn in this is if statement and their variations, multiple conditions handling with logical operators, switch statement, which is super important when if conditions are going to be more than 2 or 3, you should go back to switch statement, which is much performant than if statement. Type switches for interface handling. So we will learn the interfaces in Golang, what exactly it means, and how a slice of type interfaces stores the values, and how we can use the if statement on top of that, and nested conditions and best practices of it, short circuit evaluation in Go, right? So that would be the last topic that we would be covering in the fourth video. If this video goes longer, then I would split it into two, but let's see how long it goes. Whatever code bases or code snippets I'll be using, which that is already present over here in this repository. So feel free to jump in over here and take a look on the code base if you want to practice it. So if statements are going to have basic syntaxes, and if with initialization, right? How we can initialize and then use the if over there itself, right? So this is like shorthands that you can use, and then we'll go for switch statements and type switches and all those stuff, right? So let's jump into the code and take a look over there. So this is the main file for control flow conditionals, right? And I'm putting a debugger over here so that I can go line by line and let you understand what exactly is going on in this particular video and what we are learning. So what I'm going to do in the previous one, in a previous video, there is a video already present where we have learned like how to configure launch.json. This is launch.json, which is helpful in debugging codes. So here I'm going to launch fourth tutorial, which is for the conditional ifs. So this is the basic if statement. So if I go to next, here you can see the local variable. So and today we will probably take a look at the breakpoints and all those stuff. So here you can see where and all breakpoints have been used. So I'm just minimizing it. It's not of much of use as of now. So there is a age which has been initial. This is the short way of initializing a variable. And a simple if statement, if age is greater or equals to 18, so you can see the debugger is going inside that, and it is going to print that the age 25, you are an adult, right? So this debugger doesn't go in else statement because this value was 25, which was greater than 18. So these tools are very helpful in your learning and in your debugging of any sort of Golang code bases. So if with initialization, so here what is happening, I'm initializing score over here itself, right? And then there is another condition that I'm keeping, which is stating like score is greater than 90. So the statement goes like this: score has been initialized with 85. This can be a separate statement as well. And again, I'm going for like if score is greater than 90, right? So you can read out like this. Okay. So since it is not greater than 90, then it is going for else if, which is the next statement. Next statement says like else if score is greater than or equals to 80, which is true. So it is going to print this statement. So this is the way you are going to configure multiple if else statements. Now we are proceeding to the next one, which is multiple conditions. So we have two variables over here, temperature and humidity. These are just for examples, nothing else. So if temperature is greater than 80, this is not degree centigrade for sure. This is a Fahrenheit, because 80 degree in India, or the way we measure the temperature, it will go like near the boiling points, right? So condition goes like temperature is greater than 80 and humidity is greater than 70, which is not true. So this is skipping this particular statement and it is going for next one. Next if condition is if temperature is greater than 80, which is also not true since we are using AND operator over here. So the evaluation happens like if first one becomes false, it simply jumps to the next one, right? It doesn't even go for evaluation of the second statement. right? So since none of the if conditions are matching over here, so it is saying like this is a perfect weather condition, right? It is not too hot. So this is how you are going to use multiple conditions. Now let's jump for the switch statement. So switch statements are super handy when you know that the conditions that we are going to use or the parameter that we are going to use is remains same. Like here it is day, okay? Else if it is like temperature and you are looking for like 30 degree, 40, 50, 60, something like that, then you should use switch statement. It is more cleaner, neat and clean than the if statement, correct? So if you are exceeding 2 or 3 if statements, then you should go for a switch. You should be able to use switch statement, which is more neat and clean. So the day today for me right now it's Saturday, right? So left hand side over here you can see the variable that has been initialized, and now this is the time basically package that I have already imported over here. So you should be able to import it and then use it. This is the by default package, so you don't need to install anything in order to run this program. So since today is Saturday, none of the cases would match, right? Until it reaches to line number 63, which is time.Saturday. So if this is Saturday today or Sunday, so then it is, so see, again, one more thing, if you are going for 2 conditions over here, so you don't need to go for like or Saturday or Sunday. You can simply put case like either this or this. So it is going to match this and it is going to print that this is a weekend, time to relax. Okay. Now we are jumping for the next one, which is switch statement without expressions like if else chain, right? So what is going to happen? I'm going to use grade over here. Grade has been initialized with 87. So why, if you not put expression over here, so what is going to happen? Like it is not evaluating any sort of variable. So this is like if else condition, right? So it's more of like using switch, but the way you have been using if else. So if it is more of like a case becomes if grade is greater than or equals to 90, or it is greater than or equals to 80. So grade is 87. So it is going to print that 87 is B, and this is a good work for any sort of student who had achieved it, right? So it is not using if else, but using switch the way you can use if else chain. Let's go to the next one, which is type switches. So here there is an interface. Interface is a type which can hold any data type, any sort of values that you can assign to an interface, right? So this here is saying value, get the type of the value, right? So since it can store any data type, we can check like what type of value this value variable is already holding. So if we can just expand over here, we can see like value.data equals to hello go, right? Here you can see which is of type string. So if I want to fetch the type of value, we can see it is going to be string. So if we do next, the case is matches like for type, if the case is string, then it is going to print like this value right now is holding string data type, right? So it goes like string value hello go length 10. Okay, so we are fetching length and data for this particular variable. So this one is very important stuff over here if you are doing some sort of dynamic programming where you don't know what the input would look like, right? So if you are taking some input from the interface or something like that, then you will have to parse those information. So simply we can say like command prompts. If I do something like command prompt and I provide like multiple arguments over there, like how many go routines I want to run, or what is the configuration file's location, right? So those sort of inputs can be parsed using this multiple type example. So value right now holds, you can see over here, multiple data of different types. So how actually interfaces of slices of type interface store the value? This is indexes, and every index will have its own data type and the values. So 0th index is holding 42. So this is the first element that goes into slice, and you can see the type is integer. The second one goes 3.14, which is of type float. So now if I let this for loop run, so I'm iterating over the slice, and using the switch cases we are going to figure out what is the value and its type that is stored in this particular slice. So the first one here, you can see this is an integer 42, correct? And the second one is supposed to be value and the type of it is going to be float, right? Third one is going to be boolean, and fourth one is string, which contains go, and fourth one is going to be a slice which contains value 1 2 3 4. So this is how you can dynamically parse the input values if you are not sure what data type you will be getting from the users. Now there are practical examples that we should be looking at, like if you are providing some sort of like passwords, and how using if else condition or switch conditions we can check the strength of the password. So there is a function which is written over here. So if you go inside this function, so this button over here, step into, you can use in order to get inside the function. So if I click that, it comes over here. Here it says like check the password strength. So currently we have passed 1 2 3 as the password. So it is going to print that for us so that we are able to see this is 1 2 3, right? So local variable you can see over here, which has been initialized as 1 2 3. And if you check the length of the password, it says that it is not of length 6. So it is a weak password. Let's check password 1 2 3. So here it says weak. This password itself is weak because it is missing 2 character types. Okay, what it is missing, we don't have we can say capital letter and special characters like @ or something like that. So let's check this one. If we go inside the function again, so again this password would be initialized, and we are checking like does it has the uppercase, has the lowercase, has the digit, has the special, right? So here we are traversing through every characters, right? Every characters, and we are checking if it contains something like this and this. This is checking for uppercase, this is lowercase, integers, and then these special characters, right? So let's take a look. So there are multiple, you can say, characters in our particular password. So you can see over here strong P @ss123, right? So it says like has uppercase, has lowercase so far. So we are proceeding forward, and let me just jump into here because it is going to take some time. So now you can see all the conditions have been met. So here was like has uppercase, lowercase, digit, and special characters. So now it is going to check the strength of it, right? So if it has the uppercase, strength is going to be 1. So basically it's a simple program which basically is checking what is the strength of your password that you have provided. This exactly mechanism goes on for every input that we provide on google.com or Gmail or your Facebook or Instagram, right? So it goes like that. The check happens this way. Now it found out that password was good enough, right? So it printed strong password, has all the characters type that it was actually needing. So calculate BMI. This is also a simple program which basically says, are you underweight, normal weight, or overweight? So this is the using switch statement, correct? Earlier also we had been using switch statement, if else conditions, and then again the for loop, and then switch statement over here. So calculate BMI also goes like this. It basically takes your weight and height, and based on that it basically calculates. So if you go to gym, there are machines that has been kept which basically takes your height and weight and then calculates the BMI. Nothing fancy over here as well. This is a simple program that basically says like if you are underweight, overweight or obese. So here if you have weight of like 70 kg and height is 1.75 meter, then you are normal weight. And if you are like 90 kg and your height is less 1.6, then you are obese, right? So this is the way it goes. So there is random number guess. So this is the internal package, built-in package that has been used over here. So if you put a number debugger over here, so you will be able to see that say it is generating a number between 1 to 10 and you are guessing. Say my guess is 7. So let's see what happens. So my guess was 7 and random number generated was 7 itself, right? So this is the way it is telling like you won. So it's more of like you write a number and then let somebody from your colleagues or team guess that. If they guess right, they win, right? So it is the same thing that is happening over here. The next one is nested conditions. So let's take a look. So if you have like a user's age is 22 and has the license and has the insurance, then when he can drive, when he can rent, so this is the nested if-else conditions, right? So if the user's age say is greater than 18, then he should be eligible to drive. And if he has the license, then what he can do, it has the valid license, but does it have the insurance? Yes, it has the insurance as well. So he can drive legally, right? Otherwise, if he doesn't have the insurance, then no insurance cannot drive legally. So legally, he is eligible like for driving and has the license, but all the vehicle, it is mandatory to have the insurances, right? So that's the reason he is, it is being marked that yes, he has the insurance and he can drive legally. Otherwise, it would print no, he doesn't have the insurance and cannot drive. The other thing is like if he didn't had the license, so it would go for like no license, cannot drive. If the age itself doesn't match, so we don't need to check anything inside. We can simply say he is underage or he is young to drive. The last one, the last topic is short circuit. So this video is beyond 18 minutes now. So I'm going to stop it over here. This topic will basically go through in the next video. So the code I have already pushed over here, which is present. So if you want to exercise or take a look, you can carry on. But I will finish the short circuit evaluation in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.